Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns, and also commemorating Viksit Bharat 2047 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today is commemorated as National Youth Day, celebrating the power of youth. Swami Vivekananda viewed the youth of India as a strong link to glorious past and a grand future. Vivekananda used to say that all power is within you. Call upon that power. You must believe that you can do everything. This belief in oneself and turning the impossible into possible is still relevant to the youth of the country. And I am glad that the youth of India understands this very well. This youth is moving forward with self-belief, as quoted by Sri Narendra Modi ji, Prime Minister of India, from the quotes of Swami Vivekananda. So the National Youth Day or Rashtriya Yuva Divas, which is celebrated every year on 12th January in commemoration of the great spiritual leader, philosopher and thinker Swami Vivekananda, whose unwavering belief in potential of youth continues to resonate deeply with young citizens of the country. This inspiring life and empowering message urges the youth to nurture their dreams, unleash their energies, and shape a future worthy of his envisioned ideals. The youth, defined as those within the age group of 15 to 29 years, make up barely 40% of India's total population, representing the mostly vibrant and dynamic segment of society. This group constitutes the nation's most valuable human resource. With their limitless potential, the youth hold the power to propel India to new heights of progress and innovation. National Youth Day serves as a moment to acknowledge, celebrate, and harness this potential, inspiring young minds to contribute meaningfully to the nation's development. The Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue 2025, commemorating Swami Vivekananda's 122nd birth anniversary, which was scheduled for January 11th and 12th, 2025, at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports and Labor and Employment, formally inaugurated the Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue on 11th January 2025. So, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji engaged with 3,000 dynamic young leaders from across India, selected through a merit-based multi-level process from over 30 lakh participants on 12 January 2025 today. The event aims to break the 25-year-old tradition of holding the National Youth Festival in a conventional manner. It will provide a platform for youth to present innovative solutions for a developed India. Participants will make presentations to the Prime Minister on 10 thematic areas pivotal to India's development, including technology, sustainability, women empowerment, manufacturing, and agriculture. Additionally, a compilation of the best essays on these themes will be released in a unique setting. The Prime Minister will join the young leaders for lunch, offering them an opportunity to share their ideas, experiences, and aspirations directly with him. Youth means to place your firm confidence in yourself and exercise your hopeful determination, resolution, and belief, good intentions in the beautiful task of self-culture, as quoted by Swami Vivekananda. So, objectives of National Youth Day is to generate awareness about the life and message of Swami Vivekananda, to inspire and motivate youth into participate in nation building, to involve youth in various activities, and to promote spirit of service and volunteerism. The Department of Youth Affairs restructured, consolidated all the schemes implemented by the department into 3 schemes with effect from 1st April 2016. Various schemes before restructuring are Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, NYKS, National Youth Corps, NYC, National Program for Youth and Adolescent Shashkitaran Karikrama, RYSK Development, NPYAD, International Cooperation, Youth Hostels, Assistance to Scouting and Guiding Organization, National Discipline Scheme, NDS, National Young Leaders Program have been combined, merged into a new umbrella scheme called Rashtriya Yuva Sastikaran Karikramam, RYSK in short. And apart from that, National Service Scheme, NSS, Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Youth Development, RGNIYD, remains the same. And in order to support the youth achieve its full potential, the Department of Youth, Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs has carried out many schemes and initiatives like Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, NYKS, launched in 1972. NYKS is one of the world's largest youth organizations with the primary goal to develop the personality of youth and engage them in nation-building activities. NYKS activities fall into 4 categories. 4 programs implemented with NYKS own budget. Youth Affairs schemes includes National Program for Youth and Adolescent Development, NPYAD, and National Young Leaders Program, NYLP. Collaborative projects funded by other ministries for youth development. Special programs focused on critical youth-centric activities. National Youth Policy, NYP 2024. The government has reviewed and updated the National Youth Policy, NYP 2014, and has released a draft for the new NYP 2024. This draft outlines a 10-year vision for South development in India, aligned with Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. It focuses on 5 main areas: education, employment, youth leadership, health, and social justice, with a commitment to social inclusion. So key points include a clear plan to achieve youth development goals by 2030, alignment with the National Education Policy 2020 to improve career and life skills, strengthening leadership and volunteering opportunities, and using technology to empower youth, enhancing healthcare, especially mental health and reproductive health, and promoting sports and fitness, ensuring safety, justice, and support for marginalized youth. National Youth Corps, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports introduced a scheme called National Youth Corps during 2010-11. The objective of the scheme is to set up a group of disciplined and dedicated youth who have inclination and spirit to engage in task of nation building, facilitate the realization of inclusive growth, both social and economic, to act as a point for dissemination of information, basic knowledge in the community, to act as group of modulations and peer group educators, and to act as role models for the younger cohorts, especially towards enhancement of public ethics, probity, and dignity of labor. National Youth Leaders Program, NYLP, focuses on fostering leadership and innovation among the youth and individuals to enable them to contribute effectively to social and economic development. This aim of the program is to create an institutional platform where youth can articulate their views and draw the attention of local administration to such issues, concerns affecting their lives, educate youth about the contemporary socio-economic development issues, and enable them share their experiences and ideas on community development and social welfare activities. Recognizing exemplary contribution by youth and NGOs, the National Youth Awards are conferred every year for excellent work done by the for nation building, community service, a cash award of rupees 1 lakh, a medal and a certificate are given to each individual awardee. The award to voluntary youth organizations comprise of a certificate, a medal, and an amount of 3 lakhs. National Program for Youth and Adolescent Development, NPYAD. Under NPYAD scheme, financial assistance is provided to the government, non-government organizations for taking up activities for youth and adolescent development. The assistance under NPYAD is provisioned under 5 major components, namely youth development and personality development training, promotion of national integration camps, interstate youth exchange programs, youth festivals and multicultural activities, etc., promotion of adventure, Norgay National Adventure Awards, development and empowerment of adolescents, life skills education, counseling, career guidance, etc., technical and resource development, research and studies on youth issues, documentation, seminars and workshops, and so many. National Service Scheme, NSS in short, established in 1969, NSS encourages students to engage in community service with the motto, not me, but you. Swayam se pehle aa. Its objectives include fostering social responsibility, leadership, civic engagement, and national integration, while promoting meaningful links between educational institutions and communities. Youth hostels promote travel and exploration by offering affordable accommodation, fostering social and cultural exchange. Hostels provide good accommodation for the youth at reasonable rates and are looked after by managers and wardens appointed by the central government. The department endeavors to create an international perspective perspective among youth in collaboration with other countries and international agencies, organizations on various youth issues. The department also collaborates with UN agencies like United Nations Volunteers, UNV, United National Development Program, United Nations, UNDP, and the Commonwealth Youth Program, CYP, on various youth-related issues. The department has initiated collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, since July 2020 for imparting skill training and for providing gainful employment to the youth. So National Youth Day serves as an essential reminder of the pivotal role that youth plays in shaping the future of India. As we commemorate the life and message of Swami Vivekananda, we are reminded of the boundless potential within the youth of India. Though various initiatives and schemes like NYKS, NYC, NYLP, and others, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports continues to empower young individuals, guiding them towards nation building and personal growth. With the support of these programs, the youth are not only equipped to pursue their dreams, but also to contribute meaningfully to the social and economic progress of the nation, furthering the vision of a prosperous, self-reliant India. Today is commemorated as Work Harder Day in the US, which is celebrated on January 12th. Annually, it is a day for people to do what its name suggests, work harder. In everything we hope to achieve success in, we do one thing, work hard. And then we want to achieve that success faster, we put in more effort and push ourselves to the limits. Staying longer than usual at work offers a chance to work harder. But do you know that working longer and harder aren't synonymous? While working longer makes you look diligent, working harder actually makes you successful. From business persons, sports persons, inventors, and even politicians, hard work has always played a significant role in their success. It is symbolic of the history of all those great individuals, and not just any type of hard work, but the one that pushes them to the limits. History will never forget Thomas Edison and his thousands of inventions. In the 1800s, Edison's teachers described him as dullard. However, he didn't allow that to weigh him down, and with hard work and perseverance, he became one of the greatest inventors of all time. The later 1900s witnessed Michael Jordan's brilliance in basketball. His longtime coach, Phil Jackson, once wrote that it was hard work that made Jordan a legend. He also wrote that Jordan's unique characteristic wasn't his talent, but knowing he had to constantly work hard to be the best. The Williams daughters, Serena and Venus, worked extraordinarily hard to write both their names in gold. A report showed that dual lives were almost all about tennis. Together, they dominated tennis for over a decade, combinedly winning the best title of Best Female Tennis Player, a whopping 13 times between 2001 and 2021. Howard Schultz is another typical example of an entrepreneur who worked harder than usual. He was so determined to be successful that while being the CEO of Starbucks in the 1980s, he stayed longer at work and even went to office on Sundays to read emails from his employees. Mark Cuban once wrote to his blog that it took him an incredible amount of work to benefit from his luck. Today is also commemorated as Stick to Your New Year's Resolution Day in US. observed on January 12th. It's almost halfway through January. We are already starting to break our New Year resolutions. If you like us, could do with a renewed commitment to goals, today is a great day to begin. Contrary to popular opinion, most people succeed at keeping New Year's resolutions. Don't believe? Many polls out of there showcase wheels of steel and endless possibility. It's a proof that adults, 68% to be precise, can make and successfully smash their goals. So let's celebrate sticking to our resolutions today and every day. Resolutions or breaking them typically become running jokes in our lives so much that nobody takes them seriously anymore. But you would be surprised to know that far from a modern day fad, year-end resolutions go back to the world's most ancient civilizations. Today's resolutions reflect a different kind of self-improvement. We find people resolving to stay fit or do more things they love. Although seemingly self-indulgent, these resolutions aren't all that different from historical precedent. Bettering one's self forms the core of any resolution, and anyone wants is a clean state from ancient Babylonians to disillusioned Gen Zs. On stick to New Year's resolution day, remember that we are in together, so keep it. It isn't amazing how people everywhere unknowingly following a tradition that's old as time. A New Year resolution is a promise you make to yourself. It could mean a pledge to start doing things you love or dedicate time to social causes. Sometimes they could also involve limiting bad habits or behaviors. The New Year symbolizes a fresh start. It's another opportunity to get things right, assert control over your actions and decisions. It's hard to stick the promises you make to yourself. We found that sharing resolutions with a close friend or family member helps ask them to check it with you periodically on how things are going. A long list of everything you want to achieve can end up being overwhelming. Focus on one or two goals instead. Can then break them down into weekly, monthly, or yearly milestones. Saying, I want to exercise more is vague and doesn't offer a concrete starting point. Spell out the details. I will work out 3 times a week might be more helpful. It's specific and allows you to track your progress. Today is also commemorated as National Sunday Supper Day in US, observed annually on second Sunday, January, to encourage families to gather around the table to enjoy time together and bond over a meal. Today is also commemorated as National Pharmacist Day in US on January 12th. Children can get up to 12 colds a year, while adults average 2 to 4. So it's time to thank those friendly workers who keep us healthy throughout the year. Get ready to celebrate National Pharmacist Day on January 12th. The day focuses on the importance of pharmacists and it honors how much they impact our health and well-being. The #Happy Pharmacist campaign launched just 2 years ago, links both photos and words of thanks to those who helps us with our meds and so much more. America's largest drugstore made its debut. CVS, the largest pharmacy in the US, employing 24,000 pharmacists opened on May 8, 1960. The breaking through antibiotic on September 28, 1928, Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. The first pharmacies were established in Baghdad during the Islamic Golden Age in the West in 754 AD. So during your next visit, be sure to thank your pharmacist for always being so reliable and helpful. Visit Twitter to post your thanks online. Be sure to use National Pharmacist Day. Get online and share an image with hashtag APPharmacist. Then click on hashtag to see how full portrait of pharmacists we create. Vicodin treats your acute to severe pain. Simvastatin is a generic Zocor and helps with high cholesterol. Lisinopril, this generic Prinavil or Zestril helps prevent kidney failure while treating congestive heart disease or heart failure and high blood pressure. Levothyroxine, the general synthroid, treats hypothyroidism. Azithromycin, this generic Z-Pack, keeps us healthy during cold and flu season, treating ear, throat, and sinus infections. So these are the most commonly prescribed drugs in the US. It honors more than 3 lakh employees, approximately 3,16,500 pharmacists in the United States as of 2016. The profession continues to grow up from less than 2,24,000 just 15 years per year. So we need pharmacists to keep us healthy, which keeps business moving. American employees pay more than $260 billion each year for health-related work logs. Pharmacists can give us health advice and tips, including how to take multiple medications. They know about drug therapy effectiveness, can teach us about medical devices we use at home. Today is also commemorated as National Marzipan Day in US, one of the sweetest days of the year. Marzipan is a confection consisting primarily of sugar or honey and ground almonds, sometimes augmented with almond oil or extract. This treat is so special that the Persians and Italians claim the credit for its invention. Marzipan might be a hard name to remember, but its taste is guaranteed to leave you wanting more. Marzipan is a light and tasty confection that uses ground almonds, sugar or honey, and some binding agents like corn syrup to give it a flexible texture. It is commonly filled with chocolate, turned into a fruit and vegetable imitations, or converted into thin sheets of glaze for icing cakes. Today is also commemorated as National Kettlebell Day in US. Celebrates the humble cast iron or cast steel ball known as kettlebell. Resembling a cannonball with a handle, the kettlebell can be used for a variety of activities, including for sports strengthening exercises under fitness uses. The organizers behind this day, whom we will introduce, want this celebration to spotlight the kettlebell as a fitness tool. In their words, they want more and more people to embrace this tool and not to be afraid of using it. While popular theory puts the origin of kettlebell in Russia because the word originated there and they had the most visible use of this tool, the reality might not be as simple. Historically, or historians think the simple design of this instrument, it's basically a weight with a top handle, means it could originally stem from any society that has used a strength tool. This metal weight was initially observed to be used in Russia in 18th century, although some documents also indicate its presence in places like Germany. Farmers using these instruments as counterweights while measuring goods, discovered the swing and press of the motion. Kettlebell was perfect for feats of strength. Thus began the initial kettlebell competitions. In Russia, it is popularly spread to the kettlebell being recognized as a fitness tool, and by 19th century, circus strongmen frequently demonstrated their power with the kettlebell. Today is also commemorated as National Hot Tea Day in US. Tea has been in our cups since far as back as 2nd century BC. Originating in India and China, tea has grown to become the second most consumed beverage in the world after water. This delicious blend of spices energizes, detoxifies, relaxes, and does so much more. Tea has been consumed for almost 5,000 years. In 2737 BC, during the Tang dynasty, legend has it has some tea leaves fell into a pot of water that was being boiled for Chinese Emperor Shen Nung. He drank the drink and found it delicious and relaxed. Today is also commemorated as Kiss a Ginger Day in US. Red hair has always been unique and striking to all of us. While many redheads are unfortunately subject to jokes and mockery, we all love their fairy dresses. January 12 is Kiss a Ginger Day, and it's a perfect opportunity to show them our love. At some point, we all wish we had red hair ourselves, but as it occurs in only 2% of the population, we go for hair dyes to get the color. Many believe red hair is and has always been an Irish, British, and European trait, but that isn't the case. Ancient accounts and archaeological discoveries indicate red hair existed in Greece and Asia. Today, the trait is more prevalent in northwestern Europe. Red hair is slowly disappearing around the world. So kiss a ginger while you can still can. In olden days, red hair had a bad reputation, associated with witches and the ability to overpower the senses of others. Redheads were often shunned from society or worse. Thankfully, this myth went away with the time, and can't get enough of enchanting redheads today. It's quite trendy to sport red hair today, with more and more people dyeing their hair in striking hues of red. The red hair gene requires a duplicate for it to materialize. Even then, there is no guarantee that it will. There is 1 in 4 chance of your child being red-headed if both parents have the gene. Blue-eyed gingers are the rarest, making up only 1% of the world's population. So really, if you know a redhead or one, consider yourself lucky. Today is also commemorated as Feast of Fabulous Wild Men Day in US. From mythological wild men to European forest men to the hottest males we know, we celebrate the wildest of them all with all kinds of feasts. Wild men are also recognized in other languages like German, French, and Italian, each having a specific term for the word wild man. There are also wild women. They are called Lamia or Holzmia. An example is Maia, a Greco-Roman earth goddess, also known as the goddess of fertility. The first historian to describe mythical wild men is Herodotus, who placed them in the western Libya with headless men and creatures with dog faces. Today is also commemorated as Universal Letter Writing Week from January 12th to 8th. Takes place during the second full week of January, and it encourages us all to pick up a pen and paper and write to someone. This year it takes place from January 12th to 18th. It perhaps no surprise that letter writing and hard writing are soon becoming lost talents in our increasing high-tech society. Text instant messages and email are fantastic for their ease, convenience, and speed. But nothing beats the thrill of receiving a letter or a handwritten greeting card in the mail. Letters existed throughout history from ancient India, Egypt, and some to Rome, China, and Greece up till today. Letters were utilized to self educate in the 1600s and 1700s. Letters were primarily used to provide information, news, and for some, writing letters was a way to practice critical reading, self expression, polemic writing, and exchanging ideas with people who shared their interests. Letters were viewed as a written performance by some. Metal lead bags covered wooden tables, ceramic shards, animal hides, and papyrus were among the materials used to write letters in the ancient world. Letters have primarily been written on paper in recent years, both handwritten and typed. In 1814, the first letter to be made with the stamp was written in the United Kingdom. The first postage stamp was released in the United States in 1847. Before the advent of the stamp, a person had to rely on his or her memory. Today is also commemorated as National Pizza Week in US from January 12 to 18, a week-long celebration that begins on second Sunday in January every year. This week, every second should be spent thinking about or eating pizza or reading up on different recipes of to make a pizza or deciding what toppings should be added. There is also commemorated as National Mocktail Week from January 12th to 18th in US, with their reasons for choosing best beverages vary, fact remains. Mocktails are delicious and thirst quenching too. You can make it from fruit juices as well as a favorite alternative. Today is also commemorated as Home Office Safety and Security Week from January 12th to 18th. In US, Home Office Safety and Security HOSS week occurs in second full week in January and is During this week, stay-at-home workers are urged to access the safety of their work environment. If you work remotely or are looking for such a job, take out time to assess your workspace and pinpoint any security vulnerabilities that could jeopardize you or your data. Work from home differs from working in a corporate setting where IT and security departments operate behind the scenes to keep the workplace safe. In this situation, you are solely responsible for your safety and that of your data long before it was formally acknowledged as it is a holiday. Medical practitioners use remote to work. Working from home allows people to save money. They save money on gas, that pricely espresso on the way to office or lunch at restaurant. Furthermore, their clothing budget is quite small, considering they will make fewer trips to the dry cleaners. There are, of course, certain downsides. Remote workers are in charge of their safety and security. After all, they need to devise fire escaping strategy and install their smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, among other options. Two or more ways to ensure it is safe or to make sure the home is child-proof and the electrical system can handle the demand of all equipment. Remote workers should maintain their workspace clutter-free to avoid trip hazards. Important documents should be kept in fire-resistant filing cabinets to keep hackers and virus at bay. Keep your antivirus and firewall software up to date. Make a backup and Home Office Security and Safety Week aims to remind remote workers of the importance of security and safety even in home office environment. Use this opportunity to get your safety straightened out to avoid issues. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. See you all tomorrow at the same time. And we wish you a happy Makar Sankranti from starting from tomorrow. 13th is Bogi and 14th is Makara Sankranti, 15th is Kanma and 16th is Mukkanma, the largest festival, world's largest festival. And it's a umbrella of, or it's a conglomeration of different festivals like Kite Festival, Food Festival, Farmers Festival, Cattle Festival, Animals Festival, Farmers Festival, and so many. So let's embrace this festival and seek the blessings of Almighty so that we all are showered by blessings of Almighty. So thank you once again for joining us. Before leaving, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. The feedback form has been launched. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow. Happy Bogi. Take care. Good night.